Hey, it's Tom
And Mike,
from Take Time to Travel.
one of the oldest cities in the world, Rome is an absolutely incredible destination to spend some time in and explore. From its ancient buildings and famous landmarks, to luxury shopping, world-renowned museums, and of course, lots of delicious Italian food. There are so many reasons to visit, so we put together a travel guide to help give you some ideas on what to see, do, and eat during your trip to Rome.
First, we'll start with one of the city's most iconic attractions, the Pantheon. It's located in a beautiful square surrounded by shops, restaurants, and patios, as well as a 16th century fountain and obelisk. Let's head over there now and show you what this historic building looks like on the inside. We booked our visit with official audio guide online before we went, and made sure to arrive early for our time slot, as there can be a long line.
Walking underneath these ancient columns was an amazing start. And then we stepped inside the huge rotunda, which was just absolutely breathtaking to see up close and in person. It's hard to believe that this magnificent temple was built almost 2,000 years ago. And after all that time, the Pantheon's dome is still the world's largest unreinforced concrete dome, with the height to the oculus and the diameter of the interior circle both being 43 meters or 142 feet.
Although originally constructed as a temple, since 609 AD, it's been used as a Catholic church, and even houses the tomb of the famous painter Raphael. It's no wonder the Pantheon is one of Rome's most popular monuments, attracting millions of visitors each year, just like us.
After our visit to the Pantheon, we were happy to see a horse-drawn carriage in the square out front that you could hire for a city tour. And when we came back to the square in the evening, it was filled with people enjoying the picturesque surroundings.
Next, let's head over to Rome's most recognizable landmark, which is just past the Arch of Constantine that dates back to the year 315 AD. The Colosseum is even older than that, opening in the year 80 AD, and stands 48 meters or about 157 feet high. We couldn't wait to get inside and check it out.
We booked the Colosseum Full Experience ticket, which also included access to the Roman Forum. It was awe-inspiring to experience the Colosseum in person. It makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Pictures just don't do it justice.
As we walked around the arena, there were so many amazing sights, especially as we headed to the upper floor, where we were able to get some spectacular elevated views of the largest ancient amphitheater ever built, and is amazingly still the largest standing amphitheater in the world, holding up to 80,000 people for its gladiator contests and public spectacles. The Colosseum is definitely a must-see when visiting Rome.
You'll also have to check out the nearby Imperial and Roman Forums, which were included with our Colosseum tickets, and were remarkable to see up close. Some of the ancient buildings and ruins of the forums date back as early as the 8th century BC, almost 3,000 years ago. Among the many structures, you can find this marble triumphal arch called the Arch of Septimius Severus, which was dedicated in 203 AD, as well as the Temple of Saturn, founded in 497 BC. It's no wonder why the forums attract millions of tourists each year.
During our 3-hour visit, we didn't even see all of the different buildings and ruins, but we had a great time exploring all of the forum's absolutely incredible sights, as well as the famous Palatine Hill, which has the ancient ruins of the imperial palaces, as well as the Palatine Stadium, which was actually a garden with many pathways and flower beds. Here we also found the remains of the almost 2,000-year-old Aqueduct Claudia, which supplied spring water to the Palatine Hill and the imperial palaces.
Just across the street from the forums, you can also find the Vittoriano, also known as the Victor Emmanuel II National Monument, or the Altar of the Fatherland. which was built between 1885 and 1935 to honor the first king of a unified Italy. As you climb up the impressive main staircase at the front of the building, you'll pass by many spectacular sculptures and statues, and once you get to the top, you'll be rewarded with a beautiful view overlooking Piazza Venezia.
Next, we'll head over to another spectacular site in Rome, the Trevi Fountain. Completed in 1762, it's one of the most famous fountains in the world. Standing approximately 26 meters or 86 feet high and about 49 meters or 161 feet wide, this iconic landmark is an extremely popular tourist destination that you have to check out when you visit the city. And to ensure that you'll return to Rome, legend has it that if you stand with your back to the fountain and toss a coin over your left shoulder, you'll definitely come back.
So of course, that's exactly what we both did, and we can't wait to return. The Trevi Fountain really is incredible, even in the evening when it's all beautifully lit up.
After that, let's head over to the bustling Piazza di Spagna to check out another one of Rome's popular landmarks. In the center of the square, there's a beautiful fountain at the bottom of the Spanish Steps called the Fontana della Barcaccia, which is a Baroque fountain dating back to the 17th century, where we took a quick video selfie before we started our climb up the 135 iconic Spanish steps, which were built back in 1725. As you make your way up the steps, there's some great perspectives of the square below, and at the top is the Trinità dei Monti, founded in 1502.
Then back down at the bottom of the Spanish Steps and across the Piazza di Spagna, you'll find the bustling Via dei Condotti. It's a luxury shopping street lined with high-end brands like Gucci, Prada, Salvatore Ferragamo, Bulgari, and Hermes, to name a few.
If you're looking for some reasonably priced places to shop, then head over to the nearby Via del Corso. It's a main street where you can wander along and check out the many shops and boutiques, as well as local musicians playing in picturesque piazzas, and of course, lots of gorgeous Italian architecture. Then at the far end of the street, there's a grand square called Piazza del Popolo with these impressive twin churches. Via del Corso is definitely worth the visit.
Now let's keep going and show you what else there is to do in Rome. There's also lots of interesting markets, like this popular outdoor one called Campo di Fiori, where you'll find some inviting restaurants and patios surrounding the many vendors in the middle of the square.
If you're looking for some nature in the middle of the city, then make sure to check out the Villa Borghese Gardens, which is free to enter. The almost 200-acre public park was once the vineyards of the Borghese family and is now a great place to spend the afternoon and relax.
You can also rent one of these cool pedal bikes if you want to explore the park, or grab some food and drinks at one of the park's attractive kiosks, or the lovely restaurants and terraces. There's even a fine dining restaurant and some amusement park rides. From up here, you can also get some great views overlooking Piazza del Popolo and the rooftops of Rome. We had a great afternoon exploring the Villa Borghese Gardens.
Next, we'll head over to a popular square, Piazza Navona, which is located on the site of a 1st century Roman arena called the Stadium of Domitian. Since the end of the 15th century, it's been used as a public square and is now surrounded by magnificent Baroque Roman architecture, with many restaurants, patios, and street vendors selling hats, purses, and souvenirs. In the center of the square, you'll find the gorgeous Fontana dei Quattro Fiumi, or the Fountain of the Four Rivers, which was designed by the famous sculptor and architect Bernini and completed in 1651. But in our opinion, the most striking part of Piazza Navona is the impressive Sant'Agnese in Agone church, construction of which began in 1652.
Let's head inside now and show you what the interior of this spectacular building looks like. It really is incredible, especially the ornate domed ceiling. And in the evening, you can even find some street performers out front putting on a show for the crowd.
Just a 10-minute walk away, you'll find another remarkable ancient building, the Castel Sant'Angelo. It was originally constructed in the 2nd century as a tomb for the Roman Emperor Hadrian, and was later used by the popes as a fortress and castle, and is now a museum. It's amazing that the Castel Sant'Angelo has lasted for almost 2,000 years. But let's keep going, there's lots more nearby to check out.
Just a short 10-minute stroll away, as we crossed over Rome's border into the Vatican City, we entered the historic St. Peter's Square, which opened in 1667 and is absolutely wonderful to see in person. At the far end of St. Peter's Square, you'll find St. Peter's Basilica, where we booked a guided tour with a small group. It was spectacular to spend some time exploring the largest church in the world, and our tour even included access to the upper level inside the Basilica's ornate dome, as well as access to climb the 320 steps up to the outdoor viewing platform at the top of the dome, where you can get stunning views overlooking St. Peter's Square, as well as the gardens of Vatican City.
While visiting the Vatican City, you'll also want to check out the Vatican museums, whose rooms are filled with stunning artwork and sculptures, and is where you'll find Michelangelo's painted frescoed ceiling in the Sistine Chapel.
When in Rome, also make sure to wander through the many picturesque streets, where you can stroll along without traffic, and find lots of inviting Italian restaurants and patios, which look especially attractive all lit up at night. A great restaurant to check out in the evening is the Divinity Restaurant and Lounge Bar, where we had an excellent meal. We also really enjoyed our dinner on Saltimbocca Ristorante's patio. The food was delicious, and the fried calamari and shrimps plate was huge.
Another place we loved was Cantina e Cucina. We found their tasty food priced quite well. One more spot we found very reasonably priced was Antico Forno Roscioli, where we got an incredible pistachio cannoli and some soupli rice and cheese balls. Although I made quite a mess eating them, they were fantastic.
If you're looking for more suggestions on where to eat, then make sure to check out our video on the best restaurants in Rome. And remember, take time to travel. Catch you on the next one.